She told it straight there. I don't care about them. I don't want to hear them. And just like that, JanelleBrown didn't close a chapter. She torched the entire book. What we see in season 19's Tell All Part 2 isn't just reality TV soap opera anymore. It's the raw, unfiltered disintegration of a family that once constructed itself on faith, harmony, and sacrifice. But when three wives are walking away, you've got to wonder, is it really the women who failed, or was the foundation cracked from the beginning? Hi friends, I'm Aariaa, and you're watching TLC Next Reveal. If you've been watching Sister Wives from the beginning, or even just caught the last season, you know, this isn't just about marriage anymore. It's about survival identity and waking up to truth. And in this episode, Janelle wakes up completely. She doesn't just hint at her pain, she lays it all out. Her regret, her grief, her refusal to act like it's raw, it's real, and it's honestly long overdue. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn, well, their cold alliance is louder than any words. Robyn's I don't care when questioned about whether she minded being referred to as a sacred cow, who wasn't casual. It was calculated. This isn't just awkward anymore. It's disturbing. So before we get into the actual breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're sick of the surface level spin and crave the truth, you're in the right spot. Leave your comments in the comments section because this one's going to rile something up for decades. Janelle was the quiet one, the steady one, the one who kept quiet while the emotional storms washed over the Brown family, while Christine was more vocal and Meri was visibly losing it. Janelle kept the line. She was practical, down to earth, and nearly always took a back seat in the chaos. But something shifted, and not just slowly, in this tell. It's like the dam finally broke. The Janelle we see today isn't just over it, she's done completely. And watching that sort of emotional change in real time, it slays her. She doesn't sugarcoat anymore when asked if she'd be friends with Kody or Robyn. Her response is brutally straightforward. I don't like them. I don't want to know them. That's not said with anger. It's said with clarity. She's not attempting to be dramatic. She's merely done living in denial for so long. We saw her attempting to make it work, attempting to remain neutral, but in this moment, there's no middle ground left. She's no longer in between. She's out. And then there's the manner in which she discusses her marriage, specifically the regret, when she states that if she'd had a year with Kody prior to marrying him, she's not sure she would have done it. That's the type of thing you don't utter unless you've genuinely looked over your shoulder and accounted for the truth. It's tragic and liberating all at once. Seeing Janelle finally voice her opinion without fear feels like seeing someone finally inhale after holding their breath for decades. You can tell by her eyes, she's no longer protecting anyone's ego. She's speaking now for herself, and for many of us, she's also representing them, because how many of us stuck around something too long out of loyalty or fear or hope that things would get better? Janelle's transformation from reserved supporter to unapologetic truth teller tells us everything we need to know about where this family is. It's not merely a breakup, it's a reckoning, and this time there's no turning back. There's a moment in the tell, all that's so cringeworthy, it's almost like it's unreal. The host, Sukana, asks Robyn how it feels to be referred to as the family's sacred cow, and Robyn, with a shrug that really oozes with avoidance, says, "Whatever, I don't care, that's all, no emotion, no explanation, just that it's the sort of response that is even more telling by what it chooses not to say. Because this is not merely about name-calling, it's about image, about how everyone in the family and everyone sitting in at home has perceived Robyn placed and shielded in ways nobody else ever was. Robyn's always attempted the victim and the mediator both at once, but when the other wives were hurting, she never really intervened. Now, with the family falling apart, her distance resounds more than ever. She doesn't defend herself. She doesn't justify. She simply retreats, leaving Kody to feel the blow. And Kody, he's leaning into a whole new model of himself, one that Janelle no longer even knows. Janelle tells it like it is. She doesn't recall Kody ever being this mean, this harsh, this dominantly rejecting. And her hypothesis, perhaps he's playing the villain on purpose. Perhaps he's pretending to be nastier than he actually is, in order to deflect attention from Robyn, his sacred cow. She doesn't say it flippantly. There is hesitation in her tone when she speculates out loud if the man she wed is even still present. It's not bitterness, it's confusion pain, total disbelief at how far he's drifted from who he once was. And watching Kody on that stage, it's hard not to wonder the same thing the way he talks now. Short, cold, defensive. It feels like he's built walls so high that no one, not even his kids, can get through. It's not just that he's changed, it's that he seems to have embraced this hardened version of himself. He talks like a person who believes the world has turned against him, and in a sense, perhaps it has. What makes everything worse is the way Kody and Robyn are solid in their isolation. They don't fight with each other. They don't appear shaken. But that composure, it doesn't look healthy. It looks like denial. Like two persons attempting to prop up an image that no longer exists. And while they might believe they're being brave, the silence screams volumes, and the family, what's left of it, is standing on the sidelines, wondering how it ever came to this. What makes this tell-all hit even harder is knowing the timeline. This wasn't made in a vacuum. It was recorded after 2008. The devastating loss of Janelle and Kody's son Garrison. That shadow looms over everything, every word, every pause, every forced smile. The grief is there, unspoken but potent, sitting just beneath the surface of this family's unraveling. And for Janelle, loss isn't something she's bearing quietly. You can see the way it defines her, how it cuts through the haze. Losing a child shakes you. And in her case, it appears to have drained from her the last vestiges of patience she ever had. For the way Kody and Robyn move her tone throughout the tell-all isn't firm so much as absolute, and that's not drama. That's what grief reminded me of when you've had all you can stand of playing along at the funeral. One moment rang out to spectators and relatives alike. Robyn allegedly took part in the graveside ceremonies, sprinkling dirt on Garrison's casket, an act that in and of itself could be described as respectful, but understanding the background, understanding the sentiment Garrison had towards Robyn in the months leading up to his death, the moment didn't register the way she might have wished. It had an air of detachment, perhaps even of performance. And while the episode doesn't dwell on that scene directly, Janelle's response in the tell-all is telling. You can feel the burden of it, her bitterness, her distance from Robyn. It's more biting than ever, and while she doesn't say it out loud, you sense that something at that funeral snapped her entirely away from attempting to keep this family together. She's not accusing, she's not emotional, she's just done. And for anyone who's lost someone and felt marginalized or ignored by people around them, that pain is comfortable. It doesn't always shout it. Simmer, Kody never mentions Garrison at all in the footage presented. Robyn doesn't either. Their silence again is deafening, and here, Nell's remove feels deserved. She's mourning, but she's also choosing clarity, choosing peace, choosing herself. That funeral wasn't merely a goodbye to Garrison. It could have also been the time Janelle bid farewell to the dream of this family being repairable. And that's something nobody watching could miss. You don't have to look far on Reddit or Twitter to get a sense of how viewers are feeling. The comments aren't divided anymore. They're solid. People are rallying behind Janelle. And it's not sympathy, it's identification. She's saying the things fans have been screaming at their TVs for seasons. Finally, one Reddit user wrote, "She said what we've all known for years." That sort of reaction isn't just applause. It's a change. The audience is done playing neutral. This tell-all didn't simply provide us behind-the-scenes insights. It provided viewers confirmation the version of events they've long suspected: favoritism, manipulation, emotional disconnect. It's finally being spoken out by someone who lived it. Janelle's voice is more than her story. Now it's the audience's voice, and the support is coming in quick. Major outlets are catching on too. Access Hollywood Entertainment tonight. US Weekly, they've all shown the light on Janelle's clips. She's the center. Not Kody, not Robyn, not even Christine this time. It's Janelle, the woman who used to keep quiet, is now the one getting headlines. And people aren't simply watching, they're taking sides. There's no benefit of the doubt being extended to Kody. Viewers aren't inquiring as to whether he's misunderstood. They're labeling it what they see: selfishness, emotional shutdown, deflection, and Robyn's cold, whatever, isn't being taken as indifference. It's being taken as detachment tone, deaf out of touch. The public is reading between every line, and the message is clear. Janelle's not the first one who's done this episode. Didn't simply show family cracks. It fanned a fire under fans who are finally listening to their own thoughts spoken out, and once that's accomplished, there's no going back. It's one of the darkest moments in the tell-all, but also one of the heaviest. Janelle sits there, serene, and speaks something that echoes louder than any argument ever has. If I spent a year with Kody, I don't know if I would have married him. And suddenly, like that, decades of history are ripped apart. That sentence isn't so much regret as it is regarding realization. It's about reflecting back on a life built around faith sacrifice and the idea that love would follow and that it didn't in polygamy, especially the way it unfolded within their household. Things worked fast: spiritual callings, swift courtships, resolved in group and not each individual by themselves. In those times, Janelle probably believed she was engaging in something sacred, stable, divinely ordered. But at this moment, you can feel the renunciation of what she gave up, what she overlooked, what she did not ask questions about until now. And that is what makes her admission so tragic, because it is not sensational. It is peaceful, truthful. The kind of truth that arises only after you've finally stopped lying to yourself in order to make the story worthwhile. That one sentence brings the entire premise of Sister Wives into perspective, not as a tribute to plural marriage, but as a cautionary tale about losing yourself in somebody else's fantasy. Janelle's words aren't personal. They're a turning point, a subdued admission that sometimes the strongest thing isn't staying. It's realizing you should have walked away before you ever began at the center of all this. Janelle's journey isn't about reality TV drama. It's something raw and honest that a lot of people who are watching can connect to. It's about the guts it takes to escape a life that's no longer yours to speak out when it feels easier to remain silent. Her journey exposes the secrets behind the glamour of sister wives, the heartbreak, the betrayals, and the times when you realize your own happiness has been put on hold for too long, and then Mary's return in silence, choosing her own path. Her own recent alone vacation is more than flight. It's a silent yet foreboding message that this is over for her too. Sometimes continuing on is leaving not just people, but the person you once clung to. Thanks so much for holding with me through all of this. If you're as intrigued and moved by these accounts as I am, don't forget to subscribe to TLC Next Reveal. I want to know your opinions. Who do you identify with the most? What do you think actually happened behind the scenes? Drop your comments below and let's keep this conversation going.